Your organization promoted you, celebrated you, gave you the title, the responsibility. Then they disappeared. And when you struggled, they said you lack confidence. This episode is about to expose what they won't tell you. Here's the pattern I see over and over again. Day one, big announcement. Congratulations on your promotion. We believe in you. Week one, your manager says, let me know if you need anything, then gets pulled into their own fires. Month one, all mentorship moves to Microsoft Teams, quick messages, checkbox 101s. How's it going? Fine. Great. Let me know if you need support. By the third month, you're drowning, making mistakes, second guessing everything, working nights and weekends, trying to figure it out. Now we've reached month 6, performance review. You need to be more strategic, show more leadership presence, take more initiative. And you're sitting there thinking, I've been taking initiative. I've been trying to lead, but nobody taught me how. Nobody's been there to support me. That's not a you problem. That's a support gap. I'm Dr. 𝗬𝗃𝗍𝗄, and I coach leaders through transitions organizations completely fail to support. And here's what I need you to understand. Organizations are really good at promoting people, press release, hands-on announcements, LinkedIn celebrations. Yet, organizations are terrible at developing people. They promote you based on your technical skills. Then they expect you to figure out leadership, a completely different skill set on your own. No training, no mentorship, no clear expectations, no feedback until something goes completely wrong. Just congratulations, now figure it out. And when you struggle, because of course you struggle, they frame it as your deficit. You lack confidence. You need more executive presence. You're not strategic enough. No, you lack a system that supports you. And here's what every new leader needs to succeed and what most organizations fail to provide. Structured onboarding. When you were promoted, did anyone sit down with you and say, here are the specific leadership skills you need to develop. Here's how your role is different from your old role. Here are new resources available to you. Here's a 30, 60, 90-day roadmap. Here's who your mentors are and when you'll meet. No, that didn't happen. That's because most organizations don't have leadership onboarding. They have a congratulations email and they hope that you'll figure it out. Individual contributors get onboarded. New leaders get abandoned. Regular developmental feedback, not just performance feedback. There's a difference between performance feedback and developmental feedback. Performance feedback says, here's what you need to fix. Developmental feedback says, here's what you're learning. Here's where you're growing. Here's the specific skills to focus on next. Here's how I'll support you. Which one are you getting? Most new leaders get performance feedback disguised as support. You need to be more confident. You need to delegate better. You need to think more strategically. Okay, how? Nobody tells you. Developmental feedback is specific, actionable, future focused. It assumes you're in a learning phase, not a performance judgment phase. And if your organization isn't giving you developmental feedback in your first year of leadership, they're failing you. Psychological safety to struggle. Here's the most important thing. New leaders need permission to not know everything, permission to ask dumb questions, permission to say, I'm struggling with this, I need help, permission to make mistakes without defining your entire leadership trajectory. That's called psychological safety. But here's what actually happens. You're promoted. You're expected to have all the answers immediately. If you admit you're struggling, it confirms you weren't ready. If you ask for help, you're not leadership material. If you make a mistake, it's evidence you lack confidence. So you fake it. You perform confidence you don't feel. You work twice as hard to hide the fact that you're learning, and you burn out. That's not confidence failure. That's organizational failure. Now, here's the hard truth. Some organizations will never provide these support structures. They don't have the capacity. They don't see it as a priority. They're stretched thin themselves. So what do? you build your own support system. Remember episode 1? We talked about the 3-dimensional support system: internal confidence, reminding yourself why you're capable; external mentorship, you find a leader outside of your vertical who gets it; and peer advocacy, identifying your wing person on your team. But now I'm adding a 4th dimension: self-advocacy. You have to advocate for the support you need. That sounds like this. I like to set up bi-weekly developmental check-ins where we focus on my leadership growth, not just project updates. I'm 3 months into this role. Can we create a 90-day review focused on what I'm learning and where I need support? I'm struggling with fill in the blank of the specific challenge. Can you point me towards resources, training, or someone who's navigated this before? Now, some managers will say yes. Some will say, figure it out. That's leadership. If they say, figure it out, now you have information. You know this organization won't support your leadership development. That doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you invest in yourself differently. You find mentorship outside. You join communities of other technical leaders. You invest in coaching, training, books, and other resources. You decide, do I grow here despite the lack of support, or do I grow somewhere that actually invests in me? Now, both choices are valid, but you get to choose consciously, not suffer unconsciously thinking it's all your fault. And if you're a leader watching this, if you're responsible for developing other leaders, hear this. When you promote someone and don't support them, you're setting them up to fail. You can't promote based on technical skill and then expect instant leadership excellence. You can't say, we believe in you, and then disappear. You can't give feedback like, be more strategic, without teaching them how. Leadership development isn't optional. It's not a nice to have. If you don't have a structured leadership onboarding process, regular developmental feedback systems, psychological safety for new leaders to struggle and learn, you don't have a leadership pipeline. You have a revolving door. Your best people will leave, not because they failed, but because you failed to develop them. Now, here's what happens when you get the support you need, whether your organization provides it or you build it yourself. You stop second guessing every decision because you have people to reality check with. You stop working nights and weekends trying to figure it out alone because you have mentors who've been there. You stop performing confidence you don't feel because you have permission to be in a learning phase. Your confidence becomes real, not fake, not performed, real, built on actual support, feedback, and development. And that's when you stop surviving and you start leading. Here's what I want you to do this week. Number 1, assess your current support. Do you have a structured onboarding, regular developmental feedback, psychological safety? If no, that's data, not about you, about your system. Number 2, advocate for one thing you need. Just pick one: a developmental check-in schedule, a specific mentor connection, access to leadership training, clarity on expectations. Ask for it, and ask for it directly. Number 3, download the leadership support audit. The link is in the description. It'll help you identify exactly where the gaps are and how to fill them, whether your organization helps or not. And drop a comment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how supported do you feel in your leadership role right now? Let's get real about what's actually happening. Listen, you're not failing because you lack confidence. You're struggling because you lack support. There is a difference. And once you see that, once you understand that the gap isn't your deficit, but an organizational failure, you get your power back. You can advocate, you can build your own system, you can choose where and how you grow. You're not helpless. You're navigating a system that wasn't designed for your success, and you're about to redesign it. In our next episode, we're going back to the beginning. Before you say yes to the leadership role, there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself. Questions that will save you months, maybe years of struggle. Because the best time to close the support gap is before you step into the role. That's our next episode. I'm Dr. Tanya Biglow. This is the leadership gap nobody talks about. You deserve support. Demand it. Build it. Don't apologize for needing it. Let's keep closing the gaps together.